Hi and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Lynn and I have in front of me the Spellbinders August 2022 club kits, and as always they are fantastic. I've already had a bit of a peek. So let me start off with the embossing folder. So really wonderful size. I love that Spellbinders makes these kind of extra large embossing folders. It's basically half of a US letter size sheet of paper. So it measures 5.5 by 8.5, which means you can emboss panels for a multitude of card sizes, from your slimlines to your mini slimlines. You could do 5 by 7. If you want to add some mats and layers, you could do 6 by 6 mats or card panels as well. So really lovely, and this design is pretty cool. I don't think I've seen this pattern before, but it's almost like kind of a Celtic knot, but not. But I do see some almost like a woven or a link design. So really beautiful that. So that's the embossing folder of the month. Then we have the clear stamp and die of the month. This one I'm really looking forward to using because it's a layering stamp set. So you can see that, for example, here you just have the kind of the stem and the vein detail of the leaves, and so there will be another stamp, probably this one here, where you can stamp out the leaves. And I love solid stamps because that basically means you don't have to color. And instead, you can just choose different colored inks to stamp with, and it's really fast and easy. And so I can see a lot of different foliage, different flowers. I'm guessing you can even layer up some of these flowers as well, but these are also really good for just when you want to do something that's a little bit more like an abstract coloring of another stamp. You could use that as well. Kind of, I mean, it doesn't look like an ink splatter, but maybe if you stamp it multiple times, you can get it to look a little bit less perfectly rounded along the edges. So you can think of a lot of different creative ways to use these solid flower shapes as well. If you do get, so there's options with the clear stamp of the month, because you can get just the stamp, or you can get the stamp with the coordinating dies that go with it. And in this set, you get all of the coordinating dies that will cut out the final sort of combined flower or foliage. Unlike previous months, this particular month doesn't have the coordinating dies to cut out the sentiments, but there are some really nice, very versatile sentiments that you can use all year round, like happy birthday, congrats, and thank you. And these are kind of small enough that you would probably just stamp them on a sentiment strip, so I think that I'm not going to super miss having the coordinating dies, but it is really nice to have the dies for the flowers. So that's the clear stamp and die of the month. And here we have the small die of the month, and it might be a little bit hard to tell what everything is, but you have some word dies that are very, very thin, and then you have a shadow die on top of it. So there's actually 2 dies here, and so you get a variety of different words. So here we have cheers, this one is congrats, hello, you, this is for, and this is thanks. And one of the things that I've noticed with the word thanks, because I have die cut this one, is that the S here, it actually cuts out separately. And so you could do thanks with the S, or not use the S and just have thank you, because there's a separate die for you. And so so I thought that was kind of cool, especially since they've thought about that versatility so that you can choose to use it or not. It's not just kind of that style with the font, because the word cheers, it looks like the S is actually combined, and same with the word congrats, and that's because you would probably never use it without the S. So they've kind of linked it with the rest of the word to make it easier to use as a single piece. So I thought that was really cool. The other thing that's really cool is that the flowers, when I look at them, they resemble, they're not exactly the same, but they resemble the stamped. So this is really well coordinated. If you wanted to, instead of stamping and then die cutting, you could just create your flowers from die cuts. And so these kind of coordinate pretty well together, and you can even sort of see like that shape and that one kind of similar there. These little flowers on the ends here, that one and that one, really similar to these two here. So they're not going to be so identical that you would use this to die cut that, because it, this stamp set does have its own separate coordinating dies. But if you are combining them on the same project, because they sort of resemble each other a little bit, all of it's going to feel like it really matches well. So really love that. Same with these sort of stems here. You can see that stem sort of resembles this one here. So yeah, beautiful set. Love the font on this, and I always love when we have word dies that when we also get the shadow or the bubble layer to go around it, because especially on word dies where the font is so thin, having that bubble or the shadow layer is really going to help kind of set it apart from the background and make it a little bit more visible. Now this one I think is going to be a lot of fun as well. This is the large die of the month, and if you look at it, it's strawberries, and large ones too, and this large kind of stem with the leaves, and then you get some additional flowers too. So what's really cool about this is that it does appear as if you do get two, for each of the three sizes and shaped strawberries, you get two dies. One that will just cut out like the outline, the solid shape, and then one that appears to also cut out all of the sort of seed detail. So you could die cut one layer in one color, die cut this layer in a different color, and then combine the two so that you get that extra bit of detail. And really lovely. There's a whole little basket that you can die cut to put all of your strawberries in. Lots of leaves. So we get, really beautiful set here with a lot of different flowers along with the strawberries, and I just love how large this is. So we look at that stem. So from the bottom to the top of that leaf, we're looking at maybe 5 3/8. So that's really fairly large, and will kind of be a really nice focal image on, in particular on a USA 2 size card, which is only 5.5 tall. Then we have the Apg Die of the month. This is very, very lovely. There's actually 2 of these dies here in different patterns. So this is just leaves, but look at all the detail. Look at everything that's cut away from that. Gorgeous. And the thing to keep in mind with this, and what I think makes it really fun to work with, is that it cuts into your card this gorgeous pattern, but there are still parts that are going to be still attached to your card. So if you look along this edge here, the outline, there isn't a solid cut outline all the way around. So this won't die cut an entire piece that you can then use as an element on your card, but rather there's going to be portions of your card that are going to stay attached here, but all of the design here will fall out of it, and you're going to be left with this beautiful leafy design. So it looks like it's going to be really great for kind of die cutting maybe like a strip out of the center of your card base, for example, and then maybe putting a different color behind it. And so there might be some really fun ways to work with it, because there's portions here where it's still attached. The side here doesn't have a solid line. So there's portions that are still going to be attached to your card as well. So really, really lovely. And you get two of those. So you get this, which is very leafy. And then you get this, which is kind of more like vines. And this design is a little bit more open. There's larger open areas. So that's really, really lovely. That's going to be really fun to craft with. Then we also get some flowers, some leaves, and foliage as well. And again, with the flowers, we not only get one die that will cut out, basically cut into your card, because it doesn't have a solid outline cutting edge. So you can just cut this, beautiful pattern into your paper and kind of leave that pattern, or combine it with this second die that does have the outside cutting edge, or combine the two and then layer them. So you could die cut once with the two of them combined for your top layer, and then die cut using just the outside cutting edge, and have a solid backing piece to put beneath that. So I think that might be some really fun, a really fun way to kind of layer up and get some different dimension as well. And this flower works the same way. These two leaves work the same way as well. And then there's also a word die that reads hugs. So really fantastic set, that one. That's the Apg Die of the month. This month I'm also going to be crafting with the Glimmer of the month. And with the Glimmer of the month, not only do you get a glimmer set, but you also get a roll of foil as well. And this month, the roll of foil that you get, and that's only if you purchase it as part of the monthly subscription club. After the month is over, you'll still be able to purchase the Glimmer of the month. It just won't come with the roll foil. So the foil that we're getting this month is matte gold, and these foil plates are awesome. So we actually got a solid foil plate, which is pretty cool. So it's sort of this kind of an elongated oval, which I think is going to be really fun. Then we also have this floral spray, and as well 2 glimmer sentiments with coordinating dies to cut them out. And it's hard to tell, but the floral spray, because I've stacked them, does have a coordinating die that will cut it out. So you don't have to worry about fussy cutting, and you can have that nice foiled element as part of your card. The Glimmer sentiments are thinking of you and sending happiness. That's really sweet. That's not one that I've seen often. So really wonderful that. So that's the Glimmer of the month with the foil that comes with it. So that completes what I'll be crafting with this month. So when I do craft with this month's club kits, I'll be sure to link to that video at the end of this one. Thanks so much for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fantastic day. Bye.